This is the Sean Hannity Show podcast.
My question for the candidates is, do Black Lives Matter or do all lives matter?
Black Lives Matter. And the reason those words matter is the African American community knows that on any given day, some innocent person like Sandra Bland can get into a car, and then 3 days later, she's going to end up dead in jail, or their kids are going to get shot. We need to combat institutional racism from top to bottom, and we need major, major reforms in a broken criminal justice system in which we have more people in jail than China. And I intend to tackle that issue to make sure that our people have education and jobs rather than jail cells.
See, do Hispanic lives matter? Do white lives matter? Asian lives matter? Police lives matter? Kate Steinle's life matters? Any of the, just black lives matter? Do black lives matter or do all lives matter? Wow. Joining us to debate, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, president, founder of the group Bond, Brotherhood Organization for a New Destiny. Reverend Charles Christian Adams of the Hartford Memorial Baptist Church, and welcome all of you to the program.
Thank you, Sean.
Reverend Adams, how are you?
Thank you.
Reverend
I'm
Adams,
doing well.
I'm white. Does my life not matter?
Absolutely, your life matters.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Well, Bernie Sanders was asked whether. Wait a minute. Bernie Sanders was asked, and Martin O'Malley apologized for once saying all lives matter. So, you know, if all lives don't matter, then I have to believe, listening to them, that my life doesn't matter.
It's unnecessary to say, though, Sean. It's a point. It's a different point altogether. The point that these young people are trying to make in the Black Lives Matter movement is that black life in America has been devalued and is threatened. That is why they are saying Black Lives Matter. It's inherent in our nation's Constitution that all life is to be treated equally, and they're saying the nation has fallen short of that goal.
Remember when they had this rally and they said, fry 'em like bacon and all that crazy stuff, and that was the Black Lives Matters movement? Here's my only point. Why, Reverend, is it even controversial to say that all lives matter? Now, you're a man of the cloth, and I'm a Christian. I'm probably not a really good Christian like you are, but I believe in Jesus, and he came, he's the Son of God, and I believe that he came to reconcile us with God the Father and forgive us our sins, and so I need the forgiveness. I'm not one of the good Christians. So my question to you is, do you believe that God created every man, woman, and child on this earth?
Absolutely.
Wait, hang on. I believe that, too. So what is so controversial about saying, yes, all lives matter, all lives are precious, all lives are given to us as a gift? What's so controversial about that?
Because it's a different point altogether.
No, you know what? No, I don't like the whole sentiment of this.
No, Sean, they've responded. The Black Lives Matter movement has responded. Why are we ignoring their response?
Wait a minute, I got it.
That's not what they were saying.
Wait. Why do we have to interpret it? So simple to say all lives matter, but I do have the Black Lives Matter movement chanting.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
That was the Black Lives Matter rally where they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon.
I remember, and that was some of the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, members of the Black Lives Matter movement,
That's the more radical element. Look, you're not talking about a centralized movement, not like the NAACP. They are decentralized. These are kids.
Why are you making every excuse? Why, Reverend?
I'm not a part of
Reverend, you're threading a needle here. Reverend,
but I understand the point they're trying to make.
With all due respect, you are threading a needle. You're going on a razor's edge to defend the indefensible, because the reality is the answer should have been by all of these candidates last night, yes, all lives matter. Jesse Peterson, Jesse Lee.
All lives matter, including the unborn. Life matters. This Black Lives Matter group is a hate group. It's a racist group, and they are out promoting hate, blame, and victimhood. They want to give black Americans the impression that white police officers and white people are killing black folks. They are out keeping black Americans down. They want to blame black Americans for the lack of family and character that's missing in a lot of black Americans today, rather than taking responsibility for their own lives. And the unfortunate thing is that Black Lives Matter has now been validated by the Democratic Party and the liberal media. They are afraid of Black Lives Matter because if they should tell the truth and say that all lives matter, then Black Lives Matter will attack them, and that's going to hurt them when it's time to vote, when it's time for black Americans to go out and vote for the Democrats. If you notice, Hillary Clinton avoided answering that question last night because she's trying to straddle both fences. She know that white liberals know that all lives matter, and so she couldn't say that Black Lives Matter without offending the white Democrats. So she didn't respond to it at all. And I have to tell you, Sean, this group, if they were white and going around and saying the exact same thing, talking about the cops in the manner that they are, they would be put out of business right away. But because we have a liberal president and a liberal government and a liberal media, these people are being held as being good. Louis Farrakhan called them the next civil rights leaders, and comparing them to Martin Luther King Jr., when we all know that Martin Luther King Jr. was about uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. He was about loving your brother and not hating your brothers and sisters. He was about family. He wasn't about racism and all this mess that we see right now. And I have to tell you, we don't deal with Black Lives Matter in the same manner that we deal with the KKK or the skinheads or any hateful group, the New Black Panther Party or Louis Farrakhan. America is going to have a race war in its hands.
Well, Louis Farrakhan just this weekend was at a rally, the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, and you had a woman up there chanting "Down, Down, USA."
They're out there killing the indigenous people spiritually. And so we come here in unity because we've been invited by the minister, Louis Farrakhan. And with that power and with Kwame Ture inviting us to Libya, Gaddafi is still alive. So we say, down, down, USA! Down, down, USA! Down, down! Freedom to the Dene people.
And then Louis Farrakhan got up and he said, Jews have no forgiveness in them. He said, find me a Jew who forgives Hitler. And they say they're children of God and they don't have no forgiveness in them. That's
an evil man, Sean. And he's also a liar. Louis Farrakhan was speaking at a Baptist church down in Florida before this event this past Saturday. And Louis Farrakhan said that he is looking for 10,000 fearless black men to stalk and kill those who are killing us. And then at the rally, he lied and said he didn't say that. He said that, yes, I called for 10,000 black men, but I didn't say stalk and kill. The media are going to put the tape together and pretend that I said it. He did say it. I heard him say it. I saw him say it. And it reminded me when I had anger against white Americans, because it started with my parents first, but, the leadership told me it was the white folks I should be hating. And so I would go and listen to Louis Farrakhan, and he would call white people blue-eyed devils and the Jews blood-sucking Jews, and he would tell us that we need our own land and all kinds of things. And then at the very end of his speech, while we were all excited and praising God and right on, he would say, watch it. The media is going to say that I said things that I didn't say. And so we would go out and we would hear the media reporting the story, and they would report exactly what Louis Farrakhan had said. But and I could be a witness myself, because I had anger, I thought they had lied on Louis Farrakhan. I thought for some reason my mind was tripping, and that's what anger does to the mind. I thought they had put the tape together to pretend that Louis Farrakhan has said it when he really had said it. And it just reminded me that when you're angry, it's so easy to be hypnotized and believe a lie. And I have a brand new book coming out November 24th called The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. And in that book, it lays out how these so-called black leaders and black preachers and so-called civil rights leaders are manipulating the minds of black people. They are using their anger that starts in their home. They are using it against them for their own power
right. So
and wealth while pretending to be saving the folks. They are hurting them.
Reverend Adams, let me go back to you. You're a preacher. You're a Christian. I say I'm a Christian. You're a man of the cloth. You're somebody that sinners like me need to look to for guidance and counsel. But in all honesty, I hear you threading a needle and trying to interpret what I hear with my own ears. My own eyes see the words on paper. My own ears hear it. And that is people saying, no, not all lives matter. Black lives matter. And I would think as a Christian that you would be the first to speak out and you say, no, all lives matter. We're all children of God. And I don't hear you saying that.
Nobody, I'll say it. All lives matter. But understand this, the Black Lives Matter movement, per se.
Here comes the excuse. Here comes the excuses.
They are not advocating that all lives don't
Why are you
matter.
making an excuse for what they say? What they're saying is inappropriate.
That is inherently, I'm trying to explain it, within a system that is inherently unequal right now.
So why do I have to meet? Why do I need interpreters for what they say?
This can be backed up by statistical data. Nobody is unsure of the fact that right now black lives are under serious duress in this country.
Well, let me stop.
That is not true.
Movement
Stop for a second.
Did not kill
The biggest number of murders are black on black crime. But if you want to know why the black community has been disproportionately impacted by Obama's horrible economic plans.
But Sean, it's even worse than that, and it started prior to Obama coming into office. Black lives are in a state of emergency, but it's not because of white racism. There's no such thing as racism. It's a lack of character. Either you're telling the truth or you're lying.
I disagree. There is racism. There are people that are bigoted, racist, that think that their race is superior to another, and that's a crock of crap.
But Sean, I haven't met one human being, and I've interviewed KKK members and others. They have never said, well, I hate the black people just because they are black. People hate you because they're jealous of you or they see something they don't like about you.
Right, but no, there is a definition of racism, which is an inherent belief in superiority.
I know, but as long as you believe that, we're never going to solve this problem. The problem in America is there's a battle between good and evil.
All right, that's the foundation
versus
of it,
wrong.
But there's still racism.
If we don't deal with the foundation of what's going on, the spiritual aspect of what is going on, we're never going to clean up this mess because the liberals are going to always use the word racism in order to intimidate and control white people. But if we call it what it is, you're going to find good and evil in all cultures. And so if the people of good come together and fight against the people of evil, never mind the color, because the color is an excuse. It's a way to prevent you from seeing the cause of the effect. So we are at the point we got to look at the cause.
I want to say one thing.
Is there such thing as sexism? Is there such thing as ageism? Is there such thing as xenophobia?
It's to the people who are blinded, yes. But to people who can see the reality of what's going on, loving what's right and doing what's right.
The reality of what's going on.
It's the reality of the blind, but it's not. It's not
a serious social problem.
But being a preacher,
people revenue, lives.
Listen.
And
being a preacher, you should know better. It's your responsibility to remind the people that our battle is not a physical battle. That our battle is always a spiritual battle, but you have the children of the lie who are going to say, well, it's physical. You can never solve a spiritual problem by pretending.
All right, I'm going to have to give you the last word. We're just out of time, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going late here.